Shifting our focus to developments taking place in the Supreme Court, this is in connection to what's happening in the state of Tamil Nadu. Naming schemes after politicians. We're given to understand that in this issue, the Supreme Court has given relief to the Stalin Sarkar. Supreme Court has given a go-ahead for the Ungaludan Stalin scheme and has quashed the judgment of Madras High Court. We have Harish, our legal editor, and Dharni joining us on the broadcast. Let's first go across to Harish to know more about what happened in the top court. Yes, Harish.
Yes, that's right, Swati. As you rightly put, it's a big relief for the M.K. Stalin government as the Supreme Court has given go-ahead to the Ungaladan Stalin scheme. Remember, it was stayed by the Madras High Court, saying that illegally Stalin's name had been used to give publicity to the social welfare scheme. But Supreme Court very clearly blasting, in fact slamming the petitioner, sitting MP of AIADMK C.V. Shanmugam for coming to filing such a petition in the High Court, when Supreme Court had clearly in the common cause judgment said that the name and photos of PM and the Chief Minister and Cabinet Ministers can be used to give publicity to welfare schemes. The Supreme Court very clearly pulling him up and imposing a cost of rupees 10 lakh on C.V. Shanmugam, the sitting AIADMK MP, and saying that that amount shall be used for some initiating some welfare scheme for the underprivileged in the state of Tamil Nadu. And Chief Justice B.R. Gavai clearly saying that the political battle should be fought before the electorate and we should not settle scores using filing frivolous petition before the Election Commission of India, and also slammed him for casting aspersion on the Election Commission of India. So Supreme Court giving relief to Stalin government, which had rushed to the Supreme Court after the Madras High Court had stayed the particular scheme and for using Stalin's name
those are some
photo.
Observations, isn't it, Harish? Please stay on with us. Let me also go across to Dharni. Dharni, what the court has said is also equally important. The Supreme Court says and has said this directly to the petitioner, in this case AIADMK MP C.V. Shanmugam, that this scheme was singled out for challenge when there are 45 other schemes across India and various states that have names after political figures.
Well, definitely the Supreme Court has told the petitioner C.V. Shanmugam in this case that across India several political leaders, they have their names for public welfare schemes, and this is nothing new, and C.V. Shanmugam has been questioned as to why he is singling out this particular scheme and if there is any political motive behind this petition. Recently in Tamil Nadu, two welfare schemes were launched by the DMK government, that is the Ungaludan Stalin scheme and the Nalankakum Stalin scheme. Both of these schemes have Mr. Stalin's name in them, and the AIADMK opposed this, telling that this will create an advantage for the DMK in view of the assembly elections in the state that is coming next year. The AIADMK told that the DMK government is using public welfare schemes as a tool to promote Mr. Stalin and to promote DMK as a political party ahead of the assembly elections in the state. And now the Supreme Court has set aside the Madras High Court's interim order that stopped the state government from using Mr. Stalin's name. In fact, we have Saeed Hafiz of the DMK joining with this. Sir, now the Supreme Court has set aside the Madras High Court's order that restrained the state government from using Mr. Stalin's name to the public welfare schemes. So do you see this as a win for the DMK and the state government? What is your first reaction to this judgment?
With this ruling, the Supreme Court has crushed the political motive of the DMK and the propaganda of the AIADMK. So it has certainly crushed the political motive of the AIADMK and the propaganda of the AIADMK. For the fact that the AIADMK has become irrelevant politically, people are not with them. Just to become relevant, they are using the judiciary and the courts for their political benefits. The Supreme Court has rightly rejected the petition of the AIADMK, not only rejecting it, but imposed with a fine of 10 lakhs against parliamentarian. This is a very, very welcome move on the part of the Supreme Court as far as the DMK is concerned. Certainly, it has dented their political propaganda.
Thank you for talking to us. That is what the DMK has to say. They say that they're welcoming this judgment from the Supreme Court, and they're telling that the ADMK has become politically irrelevant in the state of Tamil Nadu, and that is why they are resorting to these kind of petitions in
That's
judiciary.
the response of the DMK leader. Thank you very much, Dharni and Harish, for getting us the details of what transpired in the court and the result of which is politics happening in the state. Quick break with that. We have a lot more lined up on the other side.